And welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the Arizona Cardinals episode. And yes, we will be talking about the Arizona Cardinals 7-on-7 team. So get ready for some Cardinal fun, if that's possible.
Yeah, right.
But that being said, there's only 4 of us here today. And I'd say the new usual, Drew's not here.
Oh, no.
So, me, Wade, Uncle Doug, Ray, we'll hold it down. We'll hold it down.
Yeah, on the next collective bargaining agreement, we're going to have to cut his contract paid in or something.
So, that being said, I think that's all the news I have. So let's get started. Wade, who is your Cardinals 7-on-7 quarterback?
Well, I looked at mainly 2 different guys, and I decided to go with old Carson Palmer.
Is he the only one?
Yeah. I don't have him.
Nope, I don't have him.
I don't either. You want to tell us a little about him, Wade?
Yeah. He was in Arizona, let's see here, I believe 5 seasons. The thing that jumped off the page for me first was he had a winning record. Put up a nice little winning percentage of 38-21.
And won.
And won. And yeah, he had some really nice, successful seasons there late in his career. It was kind of the second coming of his career, really. And pretty much every year he was fully healthy. He threw for well over usually 4,000 yards, between 24 and 35 touchdowns every year he's healthy. Does have some higher interception numbers at times, but he was a terrific quarterback. Multiple-time Pro Bowler throughout his career. He was one of those guys. He was a very, very good quarterback. Just not quite a Hall of Fame level quarterback, but very good. But he just was a little overshadowed by some all-time greats at that time. But he was a very, very good quarterback for parts of the 2000s, and he had some monster seasons with the Cardinals.
In 2015, he took him to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
They lost to the Cam Newton Panthers.
One season he throws for 4,600 yards and 35 touchdowns. He was.
Yeah, that was the year he came in second in the MVP voting. That was the Cam Newton MVP. What we talked about, was it last week or the week before?
Yeah, 13-3 record. So he's the year before that he started off the season undefeated at 6-0 before he got hurt. But not a lot of people have had a lot of success with the Cardinals. So I thought Carson Palmer, with that good a winning percentage and the monster numbers he put up in the years he was healthy there, I just thought it was a good pick.
Fair enough. Uncle Doug, who did you pick as your quarterback?
Kurt Warner.
I didn't have him either.
I don't either.
Yeah, I went with old Kurt. Again, like Carson, he was only there 5 years. 65% completion percentage. Threw for 15,800 yards and 100 touchdowns in those 5 seasons. He made the Pro Bowl once, All-Pro once, and took him to the Super Bowl. So that's why I went with Kurt.
Yeah. No, I consider Kurt and Carson. I really did. I went with a third party. Well, I think we're to you now, Ray. Who did you put as your Cardinals quarterback?
As much as I didn't want to pick him, but he's probably the most versatile between the 3 that we'll have up here in a second. I went with Kyler Murray.
As did I.
Okay.
He can run around a lot. He can pass. He doesn't have a winning percentage like everybody else. He doesn't have a Super Bowl appearance like Warner does. But in a 7-on-7 setting, I figured the guy that at least got a couple tools in his tool bag more than everybody else, I thought I'd pick him. He is a 2-time Pro Bowler, Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's been in Arizona 6 years. He's got 19,498 passing yards with 115 TDs. So he hasn't won totally off of his only accolades. It's kind of half and half, you know. But I figured he'd do the most damage on a 7-on-7 setting, so that's why I went with him.
Yeah, I mean, I had similar ideas. And Kyler's not. His problem isn't lack of talent or lack of production. It's lack of health.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
That's when he does. When he plays, he puts up big numbers. Doesn't throw a ton of picks. Has a high completion percentage. Can run around with his legs. So yeah, I ended up going with Kyler. Although I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of Kyler.
I'm definitely not. No.
But yeah, so now that I guess we're done with quarterbacks, I get to pick. I get to make one of the easiest picks of the night. One of my skill position players is Larry Fitzgerald.
Yep, me too.
Yep.
I'm Ray.
Yeah, duh.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I was
not-
a little worried for a second.
I'm not on a different planet here.
Old Larry played 17 years in the league, all 17 of them in Arizona, which is an accomplishment all in itself. You kept re-signing there, which is like 263 games. He had 1,432 catches for about 1,750 yards on 12 yards a catch, 121 TDs. He led the league in receptions twice. He led the league in touchdowns twice. He was I just lost track of it. He was an 11-time Pro Bowler and a 3-time All-Pro, which seems very low, by the way. 3 All-Pros.
It does seem low for Fitzgerald.
3 total or just 3 first team?
No, 3 total. He has 1 first and 2 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
Only 1 first?
Yeah.
Who the hell was beating him out?
Yeah.
Oh, could have been. There's a lot of guys.
I mean, he played at the same time as some good guy. I mean, Megatron would have been in the league for part of
that's
this.
true.
Terrell Owens would have been in the league for part of this.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah, Antonio Brown. Yeah, that's another good
Mhm.
one. I'm sure we're
Hmm.
forgetting a few guys, but there were some big names in there.
Reggie Wayne.
Yeah.
I mean, he started playing in 2004 and played
Yeah, right.
2020. So, I mean, there's a ton of Hall of Famers. Randy Moss.
Yeah.
His
Steve-
running mate, Anquan Bolden.
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith, yeah.
All Devontae Adams were part of that. Like, there's a ton of guys. We can go on all day.
And he was, yes, he put up great numbers, don't get me wrong. Almost, 18,000 yards for his career. But he did most of it with bad quarterbacks. So it's
Yeah.
not like he has these seasons where he's putting up like Megatron where he has 1,900 receiving yards. He's not doing that because the guys can give him the ball. He has a few 1,400-yard seasons. He doesn't ever have anything above that. But he was a great receiver, all-time great as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, he's second all time in receptions and yards. Pretty sure. So, I mean, you play with terrible quarterbacks, you're the closest person to Jerry Rice in yards and receptions. So,
Yeah.
I'd say you're pretty good.
And he in that I think it was the Warner year when they went to the Super Bowl. He had a couple plays in the playoff run where you were like, how the fuck did he come down with that ball?
I think he set records in that playoff run. He set like the yardage record for a receiver. Now I think it's been broken by Cooper Kupp. I think might have broke it, but I think for a while Fitzgerald had a record for like most receiving yards in a playoff run or something like that.
What year did they go to the Super Bowl?
Is that 9,
Was it 9?
8, 9? It's somewhere in that range, isn't it?
I'm gonna say it's 8 because he has a huge numbers in 8's playoffs.
It's 8 or 9.
He had 30 catches for 546 yards and 7 touchdowns, 136 yards a game in that playoff run.
Yeah, that's
And he had 7
That's pretty
touchdowns
good.
in 4 games,
Yeah,
so almost 2 touchdowns a game.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's insane.
on 18 yards a catch.
That works.
All right, Wade, we're back around to you, buddy.
Well, I also have his running mate Anquan Bolden on.
I do too.
Me too.
At the Quattro.
Anquan Bolden, I think, he played during an era that was loaded to the gills with wide receivers, all-time great receivers, and he was still, didn't still had his place in this era as just this tough, physical wide receiver that was one of the best players in the game for a long time, and he literally was one of the most unstoppable physical forces from the wide receiver position of all time. He was a load to bring down, and he burst onto the scene with Arizona and just put up monster numbers. First year, 100 catches, 1,300 yards. Gets hurt the next year, but then comes back for over 100 catches, 1,400 yards. Everywhere he went, Arizona, Baltimore, San Francisco, he just made an impact everywhere he went. He has Hall of Fame worthy numbers really for his career. Over 1,000 receptions. He was approaching 14,000 yards. 82 touchdowns. In my opinion, I think he's an all-time great wide receiver that hopefully down the line is able to get past the logjam of Hall of Fame receivers and get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. No, and Bolden was a beast there for a while. For sure. All right, Uncle Doug, I think we're to you now.
I went with one of my favorite players from way back in the day, Mel Gray.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Mel.
I did.
So 2.
Say Mel went to Mizzou. 4-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro. Played 12 years, all with the St. Louis Cardinals. Had 351 receptions for 6,600 yards, 45 TDs. His yards per reception was 18.9. He had 2 years where he went over 20. 1 year was 20.6. 1 year, 29.7. But he only had 18 catches that year. That was his rookie year. He had, let's see, just the 4 Pro Bowls and 1 All-Pro. Cardinals were not fantastic then. He did make the playoffs a couple times back with Eric Coryell, but it's back when Jim Hart was playing quarterback for the Cardinals. Mel was just super fast, and for a while there, he was a big threat.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, Ray, I think we're back around to you, buddy.
All right. I put another big time name on here. Hopkins.
Yep, I got him too.
Me too.
That should close him out, right?
Pretty
Yeah,
sure.
we put him on the Texans, Ray.
Yeah.
I hope so. But yeah, big time receiver, great hands, on the same kind of level as Fitzgerald, kinda. Just Fitzgerald had more impressive catches, I would say, in his career. Hopkins was more consistent and had better quarterback play. But he only spent 3 years in Arizona. He put up 2,696 yards with 17 TDs with 12.2 a catch. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro. But hell of a fucking receiver. He's fell off the last couple years, but that seems to be the trend on these aging receivers. I guess last 20 years probably. You always have these assassin for hire guys that seem to fall off the league But in his prime, he was a dog.
Yes, he's in Baltimore now, I think.
Yeah, I seen it when I
Yeah.
pulled up the thing, and I'm like, I'm kind of confused.
Another weapon in Baltimore. He's still decent. He's obviously not a superstar anymore, but he's still a decent player.
He had a couple big catches for him in the playoff, or not for them, for Kansas City in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, he did.
all right, well, I think we're back around to me. I went with a current guy that's just kind of beasting it up lately. I went with Trey McBride.
Yeah, me too.
Just Wade and I.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
oopsies.
By the way, maybe I just didn't hear it, but Uncle Doug, did you say you had Hopkins?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't? Oh.
No.
See, I thought you put that 4 up there, and I was like, I didn't see Uncle Doug.
Oh, I
say
thought
that.
I heard Doug say, okay.
Nope. Sorry.
Nope, you're good.
But McBride's been putting up. He's only played 2 years in the league thus far, but he's put up some beastly numbers. He's also a big target. He's also a red zone threat. I guess he's been in the league 3 years, so it was only 2. That's my bad. But he's put up a little over 2,200 yards, 6 touchdowns. He had like over 1,150 yards this last year. I think he just got paid, didn't he? Didn't they just give him a big contract?
Yes, he set some record, didn't he?
Yeah, most receptions in a season by a tight end, I think.
No, I mean like a contract record for
Oh,
tight
contract
ends. I
record.
think he got like the most guaranteed money ever for a tight end or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Kittle also just got a bunch of money, which kind of surprised me with his injury history and his age.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, McBride just had 111 catches for almost 1,200 yards and a couple touchdowns this year.
That's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah. So yeah, Trey McBride. There he is. So Wade, we are back around to you, sir.
Alrighty. Well, I went with one running back. He was kind of a flash in the pan guy, but he was a tremendous catcher of the football for a brief period of time, and that was David Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Their
Yeah,
Pro
I
Bowl
David
slash
Johnson.
All Pro running back from a few years ago.
I forgot all about him.
Now, for a couple years, remember he was the fantasy man because
He
he
was.
had those all around numbers, but it was a brief period of time before his career got debunked after he left Arizona. But yeah, catching the ball, his first year with Arizona in a very limited role. I think he was one of 2 or 3 running backs that got used. He only started 5 games. Still caught the ball 36 times for 457 yards, almost 13 yards per reception, and 4 receiving touchdowns that year. Then his second year is his big receiving year with 80 catches and just about 20 yards away from 900 yards receiving. Then comes back a couple years later after an injury-plagued season, has another 50-catch campaign, and then another year where he only starts 9 games, but he catches another 36 passes, and then he leaves Arizona. But for a brief period of time, he was one of the best dual-threat running backs in the league. Made a first-team All-Pro. Was the best, considered the best running back in the game for one season. And yeah, he was a great catcher of the football. So I just thought he'd be a good running back to throw on there, and just to kind of give him a different little dynamic there.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, I kind of forgot about him. I didn't even look at him.
I know. Once he said that, I was like, oh, shit.
I always try and find at least one running back to put on there just to kind of give the team kind of a little different aspect of getting yardage if they have a really good receiving guy.
Yeah.
I won't force it if they don't have a really nice catcher of the football come out of the backfield, but David Johnson was terrific at it. So, yeah.
All right, Uncle Doug, who you got for us, sir?
Roy Green.
I don't have Roy Green.
So he played for
I have Roy Green as well.
the Cardinals from 79 through 87. Played for 12 years there. 2 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pros. In his years with the Cardinals, he had 522 catches for 8,496 yards, 16.3 yards per catch, 66 touchdowns. Most of the sites I looked at listed him above Mel Gray and above all other receivers except for probably Fitzgerald as all-time great Cardinals. The big story about him was he was originally a defensive back, and they decided to move him to offense because the first few years, if you notice on the Pro Football Reference site, they list his numbers as 25, 81, and 81. Well, he was a D-back wearing 25, and then when he switched over to straight receiver, they switched him to 81. But finished up with went to Arizona or Phoenix for 3 years, and then finished with Philly. But yeah, Roy was he was quick, he was tough.
Had a few monster seasons.
He did. He led the league in yards with 1,555 and 84. Had 1,200 the year before that, and had another season later on over 1,000. Led the league in touchdowns with 14 and 83. Yeah, Roy was just pretty good.
16 yards per reception is also very nice. Yeah, I just kind of caught my eye as, the Arizona actually has a very nice, good amount of weapons you can choose from. Some pretty quality guys.
For sure.
Even though
They do.
they haven't had a ton of success overall as a franchise. They have a lot of talented guys on here, and this guy just kind of caught my eye as kind of something just a little different. He was extremely productive, had a few monster seasons like some of these other guys, and I just thought he'd become just a different little kind of receiver to throw out there that I thought could complement some of the other guys. So. And he was a multiple-time Pro Bowler and multiple All-Pro guy. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that was you, right, Uncle Doug?
Yep, that was me.
So, Ray, we're to you, sir.
All right. I went with the old St. Louis Ram. Got 2 Super Bowl titles under his belt with him. It's Ricky Proehl.
Oh, really?
Ricky Proehl.
Oh.
I know who Ricky Proehl is. I didn't realize he played for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I didn't either.
The Phoenix, he started Phoenix Cardinals.
Yeah,
And then the 5th year, they turned into the Arizona Cardinals.
right. Yeah.
But he started his career off in Phoenix.
And then went to the Rams. He was on the Rams. I believe he was on the Rams Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
He played for Arizona, Seattle, and St. Louis. Like, he's only one team away from the whole division.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But 5 years, 3,840 yards, 13.4 a reception with 21 touchdowns. I just thought it was a nice little icing, whipped cream on top to round out the receivers on this team with big guys we already got, and I was like, why not? Ricky Proehl.
Ricky was good.
He's tested, playoff tested. Won a Super Bowl. Said, why the hell not? So I put old Ricky Proehl on there.
All right. Well, Ray went with Ricky Proehl. I didn't see that one coming at all. So I guess we're around to me, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I reached a point during all of this where I was like, who the hell, like, what am I gonna do here? So I, went with a guy that in my childhood had some pretty crazy seasons, and I knew his name more than I did, anything else. And I went with none other than David Boston.
I thought about him.
Yeah. He played 4 years in Arizona. 4 of the 6 years of his career, mind you. and he put up over 3,700 yards on 240 receptions, 15 yards a catch, 18 touchdowns. Was their number one target there for a few years. He led the league in receiving yards one year with Arizona. And yeah, he was a big-bodied receiver, big buff motherfucker. 6'2", 240. I'm playing receiver, so
He was
yeah.
very talented back in the day.
He was.
Like he kind of let some silly stuff derail him throughout his career.
I'm not really sure. I'm not sure I remember why his career was so short, to be honest.
I don't want to just put this out there if it's not true, but I just have a. I could have sworn he has had is a what's the word I'm looking for? Bit of a diva, a bit of a
Yeah,
what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to like paint him
like a
a
head
super-
case or something.
Kinda, yeah. I just that's what I remember him as, but it could be wrong. But I thought he was kind of like that. And I think it kind of led to teams that really wanted him in his career. Kind of
Like an Antonio Brown.
yeah, like he led, yeah. Now,
All right. Well, Wade, do you have anybody left?
I believe I am done.
Oh, hold on. Do you have anybody left?
I've got like 2 guys left.
Okay.
No, I'm out as well.
Okay. I went with a running back, but a different one than Wade did. I went with Otis Anderson.
I thought about doing that too.
Nice.
Otis was 2-time Pro Bowl, 1-time All-Pro, 2 Super Bowl champions, but not with Arizona. He was Super Bowl MVP. He was 79 AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. That was with the Cardinals. He was a really good running back, and the Cardinals were just a really bad team there, and he was about all they had. In his years with St. Louis, which was 8, he all right, let's get this straight here. He rushed for 8,000 yards and 46 touchdowns. He had 299 receptions for basically 2,500 yards, 8.3 yards per catch. He only had like 5 touchdowns. He didn't catch a lot of touchdown passes. So, like I said, he was All-Pro a couple times, Rookie of the Year, a couple Pro Bowls. Went on to play for the Giants, and that's where he got his Super Bowls.
Didn't he play a really big role in one of those Super Bowls?
He did.
I thought he like went off and had like a big.
He was actually Super Bowl 25 MVP.
Okay, I'll say I thought.
Yep. So, yeah, Osh was pretty good. 6'2", 220, so he was a load.
All right, Ray, are you out?
No, I got 2 left.
All right, why don't you go ahead and go then?
Okay. My last receiver, I went with Christian Kirk. Just a nice complimentary receiver. He was there 4 years. Not crazy numbers because after the 4 years he went to Jacksonville, and first year there he threw up 1,100-yard season. But while he was there in Arizona, 22,902 yards, 12.3 reception with 17 TDs. So, I mean, nice complimentary weapon to throw to. Nothing glamorous or anything, but he was decent when he was on the Cardinals.
Christian Kirk's always been solid.
Yeah, just kind of sucks he keeps jumping the shit teams.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta go where the money's at.
Yeah.
All right, Uncle Doug, we're back to you, sir.
All right, well, my last one is Pat Tilley. He was a possession receiver for the Cardinals back in the day. Played for them from 76 through 86, 11 seasons. 468 receptions, 7,000 yards, 15 yards per catch, 37 touchdowns. Made 1 Pro Bowl in that time period. Had 1,000-yard season. So he was kind of a Danny Amendola, Edelman, that kind of a receiver.
All right. And Ray, you got one more for us?
Yep. And this is gonna be like one of them draft day picks where I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it up on David Johnson after I announce who I picked. I put James Conner.
Oh, yeah.
Good quality back. He had a nice, what was it, year or two in Steelerville.
Yeah.
But then you go to Arizona to die. I mean, he's still quality down there, quality back, but just not the career I thought he was going to have. But my pick is going to go to David Johnson on that one.
Okay.
All right. Well, we got how many guys up there, Ray?
15.
Wow. Well, you can take David Boston off and also put him on Johnson.
Oh, all right.
Well, if we're going David Johnson, go ahead and take Otis Anderson off, and I'll go with Johnson.
All right.
We'll get him in.
All right, there we go. Look at that, Mr. Uno again.
Another one vote.
So we got 3 guys in: Fitzgerald, Bolden, and Johnson.
Well, do we want to talk about the quarterback for a minute, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I'm gonna be honest, Roberta. I did not see you and Kyler Murray being a marriage I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I figured Uncle Doug would go Warner, and Warner and Palmer are both pretty close.
Yeah, they are.
But I did not see you as a Kyler Murray fan, Alex.
I'm not a fan.
Threw me for a
necessarily.
loop.
They have a very sad quarterback history.
You always talk about Carson Palmer. I thought I had you in the bag.
I do like Carson
As you
Palmer.
can tell, I'm irritated that I didn't have you in the bag. No, Kyler's not bad. But I think part of what makes him special in real life doesn't really apply to this, too, which is his running around ability. And I just think, I mean, he's really good, but you pretty much have 3 solid options. But Carson Palmer, out of the 3, only one with a winning record, guys.
That's true.
Only
That's
one with
true.
a winning record.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kurt was close. He was 27-30, but
All right, fuck
he
it.
got him to the Super
I'll
Bowl.
go to Palmer.
That's true.
I'll go to Palmer.
Yeah, I don't care. Whatever.
Well, looks like I'm outvoted, so I can go. I like Carson Palmer. I'll go with Palmer.
All right.
Winning record.
Well,
Holy crap.
that means we've got our quarterback, so now we need to work on some other things here. We got a 3 up there. Who doesn't have
Oh.
Hopkins?
I
Oh,
don't.
Doug.
All right, I'll come off Pat Tilley and go to Hopkins.
Okay.
We'll get DeAndre in there.
All right. Let's see.
Well, Ray, you want to come off old Ricky?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'll just go to McBride.
I like it.
Bye, Ricky.
He was on the Rams Super Bowl team, wasn't he, Uncle Doug?
Yeah.
Ricky Prohl? Yeah, he was.
We got left. Kirk.
Oh, yeah, Christian Kirk. Yeah, I forgot he was down there.
Yeah. Did you actually look at the stuff David Boston did? We were just talking. Me and Alex, I handed Alex my phone earlier. After we talked about David Boston, how I thought he was a head case, and it says his career was derailed by a combination of on-the-field struggles, injuries, and off-the-field issues, including drug use, DUIs, and assault charges.
Oh, nice.
And it says he tested positive for cocaine and marijuana on a DUI arrest in 2002. Tested positive for GHB in 2007, which led to his release from Tampa Bay. He was involved in several other legal incidents, including another DUI in 2007, an incident where he assaulted a ticket agent in an airport, and 2011 assaulted a woman. Yeah, and yeah, assaulted a woman, then ended in jail time. And I think he had a steroid problem. I think I read.
Jeez.
Rascal. Great
Yeah.
rascal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a guy you could do like a where are they now?
Yeah. You might not want to know where he's at now.
Well, Ray.
Yeah, I don't know, because I'm not really familiar with Mel Gray or Roy Green.
Okay.
Yeah, they were old St. Louis Cardinals, both of
Mm.
them.
Well,
What?
okay, car salesman, sell me on the picks.
I don't care. I mean, I have Mel Gray, so that's my pick. But
Who's got Roy Green?
Wait, no.
Why should I pick Roy Green?
Where are you going from? I'm trying to
Kirk.
figure out what's
Kirk at the bottom.
going on. Okay. I mean, I just liked Roy Green. He was a defensive back that decided to play wide receiver and pulled it off.
are we? Are our numbers messed up?
No. I gotta go to Mel Gray or Roy Green, and then you guys gotta split up one of those picks. Because somebody didn't have McBride.
I didn't see the McBride thing. I was
Yeah.
like, how is that? How are we gonna do this?
See, I've got Gray and Green both.
Okay.
Oh, well, it sounds like nobody cares about who I pick. All right, well, I'll just go to Roy Green.
I mean, Mel Gray is 19 yards of reception for his career.
Yeah.
Why are you putting up a fight now? He went somewhere.
Yeah, it's too late, Alex. You had your shot.
All right.
All right.
Then what we got going on?
Well, that's Alex and I are Mel Gray. I don't have McBride, and he doesn't have Roy Green.
That's true.
Bring us home. Bring us home.
Well, I said it and I meant it. I don't care. So I'll come off Mel Gray and go to Roy Green. That's
All right,
fine.
and I'll go to McBride, and we're in.
All right.
Well, I wanted to get Roy or Mel, one of the two in there. So
That, my friends, is my team.
Oh, you got all 7?
Yeah.
nice.
Very
And I
well.
think 2-1 votes.
Did you really get 2-1 votes in?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
a
that was-
fucking magician over there.
Yeah. Palmer and Johnson.
Yeah.
Well, that makes our 7-on-7 offense for the St. Louis Cardinals. Carson Palmer, Larry Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden, DeAndre Hopkins, Trey McBride. Is it
David
David Johnson?
Johnson.
Yeah, let's see. I was trying to think of David. It was David. And Roy Green.
Okay.
Not a bad little team there. I definitely have some nice receiving talent.
I think it's actually pretty good. Like, it's. I mean, it's,
Yeah, because David Johnson
Pretty
was a beefy
solid.
man, wasn't he?
I remember how big he was. Let's look.
I mean, he was.
6'1", 225.
Wasn't too
I mean,
bad.
you have an all-time great Fitzgerald, Bolden, and Hopkins, who are both probably have a chance to make it into the Hall of Fame at some point in time. You know, McBride is maybe the top up-and-coming tight end in the entire NFL right now, coming off an 1,100-yard season. You know, David Johnson was an elite pass-catching running back, and Roy Green was a stud for a few years where he led the league in receiving yards and touchdowns. It's not bad.
Okay.
All right. Well, I suppose we ought to move on to defense. Wade, who is your first Cardinals defender?
Patrick Peterson.
Yes, sir.
Yep, I have him as well.
Yep, that's 4.
I mean, there for, oh God, well, pretty much the entire 2010s, Patrick Peterson was the man on the Arizona Cardinals. He was probably their best player along with Larry Fitzgerald. He was one of the top corners in the entire NFL and of that generation. He was with Arizona for 10 seasons, had 28 interceptions. Let's see, made the Pro Bowl every year he was there except 2. So, I mean, yeah. He's an 8-time Pro Bowler, has 3 first-team All-Pros. I'm not sure how many second teams. But I mean, that's, yeah, pretty amazing. You're an 8-time Pro Bowler, have 3 first-team All-Pros. You were a bad boy. And, yeah, has a chance to maybe go down as a future, maybe Hall of Fame corner once his career is over.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's a unanimous started off. Uncle Doug, who do you have, sir?
I have Aeneas Williams.
As do I.
Yep, same here.
That's 4.
All right. Hey, this is off to a good start. Aeneas played 14 years, 10 of them for the Cardinals. He had 46 interceptions for the Cardinals. 6 of those he ran back for touchdowns. 2 forced fumbles. 14 fumble recoveries. A couple of sacks. 568 combo tackles with 361 solo. There for a while, Aeneas just dominated at corner. Led the league in interceptions in 94 with 9. He had 6'3", 2, 9, 6, 6, 6.
Wow.
Just solid.
And he's a Hall of Famer, right?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yep, Hall of Fame, 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, all 90s team. Like I said, the first 10 for Arizona and the last 4 for St. Louis. Rams, that is, not Cardinals.
Nasty.
All right. Ray, can you keep the streak alive? Another unanimous?
Probably not, because I'm going with this wild spice pick here. At least I think it's a spice pick. We'll see how it goes. I went with Night Train Lane.
Oh, I did too.
Did
Me
you
too.
really?
Yeah, I did too.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Yeah,
It's
you kept it going,
That's
right?
his longest stop and the place we got the most interceptions. He's got to be on there.
Is that the
That's
one old guy where it's like, all right, that rascal can be on?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought
Yeah, if you get Wade to vote for an old guy, he's got to be good.
I was like, man, I don't know if I pull this off the 54 year, but okay.
So I'm going to be the guy to break the streak. Damn it.
All right. He had 30 interceptions. Let me see.
I think there's 2 more guys that I think everyone should have.
Let's see. 2 touchdowns. 4 fumble recoveries. And that's about all the stats you're going to get off that fella. Let me go to his actual page. Hall of Famer, 7-time Pro Bowler, 3 All-Pro, and all 50s Hall of Fame team. Defensive back.
All right. Well, here goes nothing, boys. I went with none other than Larry Wilson.
I did as
Same
well.
here.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you
Go
go.
Red.
All right. Now, Larry Wilson is a Hall of Famer.
Dude,
Yep.
the Cardinals, man.
Yeah.
8-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro, all first-team All-Pros, by the
Yep.
way. He came in second in the MVP voting one year. He led the league in interceptions once. He led the league in interceptions for touchdowns twice. He led the league in fumble return yards twice and fumble TDs twice. He led the league in safeties once. But he was a free safety. He has 52 career interceptions, all in St. Louis, but for the Cardinals.
Right.
He played all 13 years of his career there. 52 interceptions. Returned 5 of them for touchdowns. He also recovered 14 fumbles and ran 2 of them back for touchdown. He has 21 career sacks, a safety, And we don't have tackle numbers for him.
Yep.
Played from 60 to 72, by the way. There he be. So we're on to you, Wade.
All right. Well, before we go any farther, I do have to ask a question here.
All right. And if it's, did we do something wrong?
Well, how many teams is Tyrann Mathieu already on?
We put him on the Saints?
Mm-hmm.
Did we put him on what other team are we missing?
The Chiefs?
I mean,
Did we
probably.
put him on the Chiefs, Uncle Doug? Our historian?
We need to kick his ass off the Saints, put him on Arizona. Arizona and the Chiefs were his two best spots.
Yes, he is on the Chiefs.
I think we put him on the Saints.
I think we did too.
And he is on the Saints, so he's closed out.
Hmm.
And that, I mean, I didn't have him down, and I think that's why. I think I thought that we had
Okay.
closed him out. So sorry, Wade.
No, it's all good. I was checking because obviously he was going to be someone I was considering, but I wasn't sure. So, okay, moving on. Don't worry, I got another safety. This guy, when I was growing up, was the man. He was a physical freak. Adrian Wilson.
Yep.
Yep.
I have
got
him too.
I almost said him instead of
Yeah.
Larry Wilson because I was trying to find a guy I could keep the 4 streak alive on.
Adrian Wilson was a freak. He looked like he was just, it looked like a bodybuilder, and he was just destroyed people. I mean, he ran like a 4.5, and there's a video of him on the internet way back in the day of him having a 66-inch vertical jump.
Wow.
I watched it earlier today. It's like one of the early stages of YouTube, and it's him jumping over this little concoction.
Well, you want to know something else really cool about him?
What?
He was born in
October.
October.
There we
All right,
That
well,
works.
Ray, take him off the list. No, but and he was like the scary physical freak dude that was roaming the field when I was growing up. He was with Arizona for 12 years. In those 12 years, has over 900 tackles, which for a safety is very impressive. Has over 25 sacks to go with also over 25 interceptions, with 27 to be exact. So 27 interceptions and 25 sacks. Also 16 forced fumbles, over 900 tackles in those 12 seasons. Like, he was just an amazing athlete that destroyed people, and yeah, was very versatile and could do a lot of great things, and is a 5-time Pro Bowler, has at least one first-team All-Pro. Yeah, he was just a freak.
He came in 4th in Defensive Player of the Year one year.
One year he had 8 sacks as a safety. He was
That
like
was the year, yeah.
he was like Jamal Adams, but better. He could at least cover a little.
All right. Well, I think we're at you, Uncle Doug.
All right. Well, I went with Roger Worley.
I did
I
too.
did too.
Yeah.
Ray?
Oh
Woo!
yeah. Wow. Okay.
Fucking Chuck Norris.
Yeah. Roger played for 14 years, all with the St. Louis Cardinals. Came out of Mizzou. He is in the Hall of Fame. 7-time Pro Bowler. 3-time first-team All-Pro. And he's got another second-team All-Pro. He also came in second in the Defensive Rookie of the Year voting his first year in '69. He had 40 interceptions over his career. Ran a couple of them back for touchdowns. Had 22 fumble recoveries, 7 forced fumbles. Only had 1 sack, and we have no tackle numbers.
So here's my question. Does anybody know where New Point, Missouri is?
I do not. I looked at that.
That's where he's from. And we're Sports the NEMO Way, so we should know this Missouri shit.
Yeah, and he went to King City High School And I have not heard of King City High School.
Yeah, they have 2 NFL players from their high school. In King City, Missouri, but doesn't help me.
Well, do they have a Dollar General
Or Casey's.
or a Casey?
Yeah,
That's what makes it a town.
that's right. Gotta have them.
Huh.
But no, I do not know where King City or New Point, either one, are at.
Well, Doug don't know where it's at. I ain't gonna know where it's at.
Me neither.
Hmm.
All right. Well. Oh well. Ray, we're to you, sir.
Is this the last one?
Hopefully. I'm not feeling good, but we'll see how it goes. See if we can clean sweep this shit. I went with Kwame Lassiter. Yeah?
Yep, I'm with you, Ray.
I did not.
Ah,
Either.
fuck.
Well, close.
Yeah. Alright, so Kwame Lassiter. 8 years in Arizona. Let's see here. 24 interceptions. 1 for a touchdown. 4 forced fumbles. 5 fumble recoveries. 4 sacks. And 541 combined tackles. And before today, I had no idea who this guy was. But his position is defensive back. And he played in Arizona from 95 to 2002. And then he went to San Diego and St. Louis.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you for that wonderful pick, Ray.
No problem.
And you broke our streak.
Don't put it on me.
It's all your fault.
Don't put
Can't
it
believe
on
you did
me.
that.
All right, Alex, let's fuck this switch up a little bit more.
I'm going to, because I'm not picking somebody that everybody's gonna have, or you're gonna have probably. But I went with Dominic Rogers-Cromartie.
Nope, didn't get him.
Thought about him, but I went with Ray.
And didn't we put him somewhere else, or did we put his brother somewhere else?
We have a Cromartie someplace, but I'm not sure which
Is it
one.
the Jets?
Antonio Cromartie, we put on either the Jets or the Chargers or both,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I remember one
Might have been
Cromartie
both.
was on the Jets.
Unless you all put it like that. Unless you all put that Cromartie on like the Giants or something.
And we might have put him on the Giants. That's his longest stop.
Yeah, so maybe you put him on the Giants, and then Antonio was probably either on the Jets or the Chargers or both. So yeah, there's been a lot of Cromarties, I'd imagine.
According to this, there is 2 more, and it's played the NFL. I mean, Antonio and Dominic Rogers, and then there's a Damon Cromartie.
Like they're like all related.
Yeah, this is his relatives on the
Okay.
page. They're also related to Terrell Smith, but I'm not sure who that is either.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Dominic Rogers-Cromartie played 3 years in Arizona. Made a Pro Bowl while he was there. Had 13 interceptions in those 3 years. Returned 4 of them for touchdown. Had 137 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. 61 pass deflections. Yep. There he is. And Wade, where do you, sir?
All right, for my last pick after this epic failure to be a perfect defense, I have their best player on their team right now, guys, Buda Baker.
Oh, I
I
forgot
thought
about
about
Buda
Buda.
Baker.
Oh, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first team All Pro, 2-time second team All Pro, so 7 Pro Bowls and 4 All Pros. Very nice, Ray, very nice. In 8 seasons, has over 900 godforsaken tackles. Just had 164 of them last year as a safety. Pretty insane.
That is.
Yeah, I mean he's been in the league 8 years. He has over 900 tackles already. So he's just saving everybody on that defense. Has 9.5 sacks, 7 forced fumbles, 7 interceptions, 5 fumble recoveries. He's just like the Tasmanian devil of that defense. If it wasn't for him, they'd be a very sad bunch. They're already kind of sad at times. Is the Arizona defense, but he's pretty much the only bright spot on their defense as of right now. Yeah, he's amazing. He just runs around and causes mass destruction everywhere he goes. He's actually a very small guy. He's like smaller than me, or like maybe my size exactly. I mean, and he just destroys people. But yeah, thought he was a good last guy to have.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's everybody, right?
Yep.
How many we have there, Ray?
9.
9.
6 unanimous and 3 guys for the last spot.
Yeah.
I'll come off Cromartie and go to Buda Baker.
Mm.
And then there was 8.
See.
What's up, Ray?
Well, I was trying to make a stand and not fall into this bait trap of letting Wade have another Uno go on.
Oh, wow.
But I mean,
7 Pro Bowls, man.
yeah, you
4
can't beat that.
All-Pros. 2 first team.
Because Lassiter, he didn't even have one.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, I mean, what can you really do here?
Go to Buddha.
Go to
Yeah.
Buddha.
I think the handwriting's on the wall, Ray.
Yeah.
You and I gotta go.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go to Buddha too.
All right.
And that's it. That wraps that shit up.
With a
and
nice
on
little
Roger
bow.
Worley,
Number 1.
I looked up the towns. The town he was born in is actually not even incorporated anymore. It's a little wide spot in the road. They had on the website. They just had a lot of times they have a picture of famous things in the town. Just had a picture of a church. That's about all that's there now, I guess.
Oh, well.
But it does list him as their most famous resident. That's where he was born. But we're at King High School. Is in King City. King City is like 2,000 people, about the size of Canton, maybe a little smaller. And both these places are in far northwest Missouri. Up toward the Nebraska-Iowa borders, up in that area.
So they're northwest. We're northeast. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're rivals.
Rivals.
Yeah.
Stay off my turf, bros.
Yeah,
So-
bruh.
And they also list their most famous alumni and resident as Roger Worley.
Okay.
So
Well, good for small town Missouri.
that's all right.
Honestly, the me guys or the Cardinals not bad on either side of the ball.
They're not terrible.
They're not.
They have a ton of Hall of Famers on defense.
They do.
Yeah.
Aeneas Williams, Hall of Famer. Nitrain Lane, Hall of Famer. Larry Wilson, Hall of Famer. Roger Worley's Hall of Famer. I mean, Patrick Peterson, I think, has a good shot. Buda Baker's got a ton of accolades. Maybe one day.
And we got 4 good corners and 3 solid safeties. So
And the offense is pretty damn good, too, to be honest. It's not world beating, but it's good.
Cardinals might be better at 7-on-7 than they are at 11.
I know.
Yeah.
Kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, like I'm kind of digging their defense. I mean, they got a
Yeah.
couple older guys, but they're pretty nasty.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Yeah, I think their 7-on-7 team's better than the regular.
That's freaking
Yeah.
sad, to be totally honest. So sad.
Not too bad, guys.
Well, that wraps up our 7-on-7 talk and will lead us into what should be MVP discussion, but the Cardinals don't have one of those. They also don't have offensive and defensive player of the years. So we went to the scrap heap and we pulled out a defensive rookie of the year to talk about, which is none other than Simeon Rice, who I didn't even know he played for this franchise, but he won defensive rookie of the year for the Arizona Cardinals in 2003 or 1996.
96,
Sorry,
yeah.
I don't know why I had 2003 in my head. He played, or he had 52 tackles and 12 and a half sacks, which is a nice rookie season, mind you. He beat out Zach Thomas, who came in second place, who had 154 tackles, 2 sacks, three interceptions, one of which he returned for a touchdown. Kevin Hardy, another linebacker, this time from Jacksonville, who had 86 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 2 interceptions. I guess we have Tony Brackens, another Jacksonville Jaguars rookie, defensive end this time, who had 55 tackles, 7 sacks, and interception. And none other than Ray Lewis came in sixth place, receiving 1 vote after he had 110 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and an interception.
Okay.
So what are you guys thinking?
So you said Simeon had 52 tackles?
Yep.
No interceptions?
No interceptions.
Okay.
Defensive lineman, you know.
Oh, gotcha. I don't know. Hardy's got the more balanced stat line.
Part of me kind of likes Zach Thomas.
Me too.
154 tackles doesn't shake a stick at.
Plus 2 sacks and
And
3
three interceptions.
and a defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of leaning towards Zach.
Yeah, I'm kind of digging.
Shout out to Robert.
He's kind of stomping a mud hole in Ray Lewis.
Who had the better record that year?
Miami was 8-8, and the Cardinals were 7-9.
Oh, there you go.
Got him.
I'll say Zach's climbing the list.
Okay.
I like it. I mean, Simeon Rice and having 12.5 sacks is nice, but I think you'll get a little bit more production out of a Zach Thomas with over 150 tackles and 2 sacks and 3 interceptions and a touchdown. I'm digging it.
All right, fair enough. I'll go with it. I don't care.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Simeon Rice, we taking your award, dude.
We don't like you anymore, Simeon.
Sorry, bud, you're out.
Yeah.
That was a real lackluster finish, guys. Woo.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta get these, these dirty
Yeah.
turds at the Cardinals out of the way.
Yeah. Sometimes when somebody leaves the empty whipped cream can in there, you only get 1 squirt.
Yep. This is what they get for not having any MVPs
Yeah.
through the years.
Well, we appreciate you tuning in for this Arizona Cardinals episode. And we would appreciate you tuning in next week for somebody that I don't remember. The Rams. Oh, the Rams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the St. Louis, Los Angeles Rams.
Oakland, California.
Yeah, we appreciate you tuning in for the Rams episode. It'll excite Uncle Doug. And we would also appreciate it if you would, rate, subscribe, comment, send us an email at
Sports the NEMO Way at gmail.com.
And thanks for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.